This is Robin Fairbanks, former manager of Fox and the Law. You're listening to Word on the Street.
Yo, what's shaking? This is Word on the Street. I'm the Zim, your host. This is where we discover and celebrate the culture of the Seattle music scene. So check it out, yo. As I do every week, we do a little intro before we get into this. And this week we have Dallen and Silas on the podcast. So hang tight. If you want to join in up with the conversation with Dallen and Silas, you can skip ahead. It usually takes me about 10 minutes or less to do this intro. Probably less today. But so just kind of fast forward, as they used to say back in the day. But for now, I'll drop some knowledge on you about what's been going down with the Zim and A-Rock and Word on the Street and all the things that I'm kind of involved with here and you're involved with. So check it out, yo. First thing to mention, well, this is a kind of a backwards one. So as you know, we have Patreon is what supports the podcast. And we've actually got our first person to unsubscribe or to stop being a Patreon partner for the podcast, which is cool. I expect that to happen because, you know, people ebb and flow with their life and they want to support things and not support things, and they want to put their money in different areas, which is great. But it's just a reminder to me that I got to keep the hustle on and keep reminding you that I need support to continue this process of the podcast. So if you have some monies that you want to kick toward it, that would be excellent. And the way I'm describing it now, so for a long time I was calling it subscribers, and I've just shifted the terminology one more time, and I think it's more relevant, and I'm calling it partners. So you become a Patreon partner of the podcast. So essentially, you are what make the ability for this to continue. So I'm the creator. I do this. I'm the host. I'm the one that makes it, and then I need partners to help me with that, and you'd be those partners by partnering up, by giving financial support toward it. So check it out. And in the background, we have some Facebook bings. There was one. Anyways, so check it out. You'll go to patreon.com/thezim and see if it works for you. I have a bunch of tier levels with how it works. Like I have a special tiers right now. Tiers as in levels, not as in crying. But so like I got a t-shirt tier, a special promotional offer t-shirt tier where you can sign up, become a Patreon what did I just say? Partner? Become a partner to the podcast for $8.88 a month, and I will send you a t-shirt. And it requires 2 times through the cycle, 2 months to get the t-shirt, because I cost me more money than I have to get the t-shirt. So I actually have to be generating money to create all this. So anyways, you get it, right? You get it. So I'm just hoping the support, really the bottom line is I hope you like this content and want to see it continue so that you will contribute to it, and the incentive things are just icing rather than what you're really going for. So there's the new t-shirt tier. I also have a $25 a month t-shirt tier, which once the 5 of the $8.88 ones are used up, people can do the $25 one again. But also I make a handmade clutch purse. It's handcrafted by me. I sew and do all that kind of good stuff. The company's called Alexander Thomas, and I have a $33.33 tier level where you become a partner to the podcast for that amount every month, and I'll send you any of the clutches I have on my Etsy store. Etsy, it's alexanderthomas2015.etsy.com. You can go to that site and look at what's available and go, I want that one. And so we'll just work it out behind the scenes if you become that tier level. So that's kind of what's been up with the Patreon. No new partners have signed up in the last couple weeks, really. So just trying to keep the hustle on and keep it going. One thing that's important to mention, if you've been keeping up with what's been going down in this world, so I was planning a tour with my band, the Zim and A-Rock. Was is the key word. I just over last weekend canceled the tour because life just got in the way. Basically, my car started acting stupid, so I don't have a trustworthy car to go on tour anymore, and it just, things were not feeling right. So what I'm doing now is focusing on the recording again, making an album and making it happen. So wish me luck, because it costs money and I'm not sure where it's all coming from. So anyways, that's part of the thing. gonna make it happen. Gonna do it. Gotta have it happen. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about? That's it. That's all my announcements for now, I guess. I don't really know. But let's get into this version of the podcast with Dallen and Silas. Oh, I will mention, just go to WOTSpodcast.com for everything else that you may need for this podcast or more of the stuff I've been talking about. You can find more information on our website and our Facebook, facebook.com/We're on the Street Podcast. But like I was saying, Dallen and Silas, I've been down with Silas for a while. I just met Dallen, but I've known Silas because he's been on the podcast before as part of the Strive Creative Coalition when it had him and Matt Brown on. So we caught up a little bit about what he's doing, but we also got to know more about what this new project is all about. And I was just stoked to get to know another one. This is 2 weeks back to back where it's kind of South Soundish oriented. Tacoma is where we're chilling today. So let's do this.
Yeah, these are the betas too. These are nice.
Yeah, I like these mics.
Oh, you got the 57.
Yeah, you.
This is like. Come on, man, let's try it.
No, from what I understand, so we just played a show on Sunday night, the Zim and A-Rock.
Really?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the sound guy was like, "Yeah, the betas, they seem to like feedback more often and stuff." So I don't know. I mean, they're supposed to be better, right? They're betas, whatever.
Yeah,
they cost more and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like, yeah, they cost more. That's the thing, right? Yeah.
But I guess the sound guys. I need to turn so I can kind of look at you. So
Well, for sure.
Yeah, well, I think the whole idea is that they have a better like frequency response pattern. Like they may not have a better polarity pattern.
So are you doing
Right.
Facebook Live or something?
No,
No.
I think Dallen wanted
Yeah.
to edit like a quick little video.
Yeah, no,
Oh, okay,
I mean,
yeah.
some form of promotion. We're like the worst at documenting what we need to document, but we need like a little intern, I swear. Like just some chick fresh out of college ready to, post stuff for us, but.
We all need that.
Or like
Right.
like a little brother who's like wants to hang with the big homies, you know?
Yeah,
like
seriously.
like-
I'm someday. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of like I kind of ride that line of like, do I want somebody to help me with stuff because I'm so like anal and stuff, and like I know I work harder than most people, and I'm just like, they'll just slow me down, It's
Yeah.
It's like just want to keep going and doing it.
Yeah, I will say I run our internship program here
Yeah.
at Northwest, and like I am constantly like days where I have interns in, I have to like I'm not doing my job, I'm doing I'm making sure they're doing their jobs, and it's we still get stuff done because I'm I have four arms, I'm just like, but you have to like be the brain for those 4 arms.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, I think you're right. Like
Yeah.
it just depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you have a lot of like if it's data entry, and you can be like, this is what you need to do, and they can do it for 6 hours, like you're good. But if you need them to do some technical stuff, it's not worth it.
So you should know this is all going. This is all on it. This is all on the podcast.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we have to tell people who we're talking to right now. We got Silas and Dallen.
Yeah, I mean, on social media it's Dallen and Silas, but I don't like to be vain about it. Because he is my best friend, so like we don't really care. Like who?
On social media, it's which way?
Dallen and Silas.
Oh, Dallen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, well, you know what the thing is though.
What's
the,
that?
The last name is what people remember most.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, so like if you were to address our band as a person, it'd be Mr. Silas.
Because man, he won it in the long game, man. He won the war. I lost the battle.
Well, that's the thing. It's like so the person that ends up the last shouldn't feel so bad about it,
That's true.
Because it's like I'm the Zim and A-Rock, and
Right.
I'm the Zim. I'm
Right.
first, but A-Rock is. But everybody
Oh,
thinks.
yeah, we do have. You. I'm surprised you haven't called us out for like biting that. Like,
Well, I bid it off of C-Leb and Abro, so it's like another band that was before us. So
Oh.
Yeah.
I just figure, it's like it's all good. There's no like.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah.
But off mic, I'll beat you down. For it.
like I'll see you in court.
I knew you guys copped that from me. Whatever.
Yeah, we've been working on it.
It's actually a big thing too. We were like, we could not. We were just like,
No.
because like in hip hop, it's like primarily like the rapper's name is gonna be like the
Yeah.
name of the project.
Yeah.
But like because we work so like
Hand in hand.
yeah, like we just didn't feel like it'd be appropriate, and we didn't want to come up with like a singular stage name for the two of us, and
Yeah.
then we didn't want to have
Right.
a project name because that seemed kind of like
Yeah.
vain. Like I don't know.
Well, being able to have our own names, Dallen and Silas, we can branch off, and
Yeah.
he can produce, and it'll be produced by Silas Stokes, and I
Yeah.
can branch off, vocals by Dallen Pace and stuff like that.
Well, that's exactly the reason kind of I went with our names, because it's like more because if the band stops, it's like you don't lose that momentum of the name in a way.
No,
you know?
yeah. That's
like,
awesome. Yeah.
So you're getting the all the work you put in kind of still kind of exists, even though it's not the same band.
Yeah.
Way, you know?
No, we dominate the SEO on anything Dallen, anything like Silas. Hashtags on Instagram, anything Dallen and Silas, like it's only us.
Yeah.
So
well, I think Silas is like the only Silas that exists too. So
seriously, yeah,
that probably helps.
Yeah, since biblical times, like my mom got it out of the Bible, and I think, but like, word to the wise, Silas as a name is on the come up because Justin Timberlake just named his son that was just born a couple months ago Silas. So there's gonna be a lot more of us out there, and like with the name comes great responsibility. So we're gonna start taking over. Like it's gonna be a thing.
Good. I just every once in a while I'll turn and look at the thing to make sure it's still going.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are at the better angle. You'll tell me if it's
I was watching it track. It's
even though the waves look small, they're there.
Like, hey man, your internet history just popped up. Like,
I thought I cleared that browser history. We're all good though. So we have to catch up. Silas, you've been on the podcast already.
I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so happy we're still like in contact and all that good stuff.
We'll get some catch up on some of what you've been up to outside of Dallen and Silas. Dallen, is it
Dallen? It's like Allen with a D. So for people like needing to figure out how to spell it, it's Dallen.
Okay.
And then ampersand or and like. Honestly, we cater to both, so that's cool.
Yeah. I didn't know you knew that word.
Damn, thanks, man. The lyricist over here, like, not knowing words. Like,
I didn't know that word.
Words, I'm strict about it. Like, the Zim in A-Rock is ampersand. That's the way it is.
That's funny,
There's no A and D action over here. It's like...
Yeah.
But you guys are just like, whatever.
We're lucky enough for it to come up, at least on SoundCloud and the platforms that we do use heavily. For it to come up either way, so
okay.
Yeah, we've been branching off of that.
My thing is like the Zim, right? Is all one word with a lowercase t, and that's where I get like nobody realizes that I want it to be all one word, and then nobody even realizes more that I want a lowercase t. Right. And then there's some places like so I started a Facebook page that's the Zim, just like a Facebook page or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And they won't let me have a lowercase t.
I hate that.
You know? So it's like, but it's weird because the Zim in A-Rock starts with the Zim as a lowercase d. So I could do it on my band page, but I can't do it on my just the Zim solo page.
The struggles. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but it was like a few years in between making both of them.
Totally.
Yeah, Facebook's always like changing their stuff too. Like it's wild. Like even just to get like an embedded player, like they got rid of their like their music player app on Facebook, so you have to go through like a third party like Facebook plugin. Now it's wild.
Don't use Reverb Nation. That's all I'll say about that.
Is that like an official statement from the WOTS?
Anybody that's following along at all knows I'm not a fan of Reverb Nation. So.
Okay.
Not sponsored by Reverb Nation.
They got like cited by like the United States government for being like trying to have a monopoly, didn't they? Like I don't know. Because they own the ticket sales, they own the venues, they own
I did hear about that.
the like they host the players, like they have a monopoly on the music industry, so like they were too big.
Huh, weird.
That's what I learned in music industry in high school. So
shout out to Soto.
What's up, shout out to Tacoma School of the Arts. What's up?
Cool. So what I'd like to do at the top is do a little theater of the mind. So you got to explain where we are. You have to tell the people that are listening where are we sitting right now? What is this place?
Oh god.
Okay, I got it. It's around 3 p.m. on a what month? March.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start again.
It's Tuesday.
Going up on a Tuesday. No. Okay, so we're located in the Port of Tacoma, right across the 11th Street Bridge. Right. It's a rainy evening. It's
always.
We're at the company I work for. We're in the warehouse. We're just tucked away in a little corner, in a little side office. And things are busy outside. We got like 3 shows happening today. We're doing a huge deck build. So I just kind of jumped away for a second, and we're filming this podcast and just kind of DIY-ver. Like yeah, is that we?
Well, specifically the room we're in.
Oh yeah, why doesn't Dallen take it from here? Like clearly I'm not very visual.
No, you're good, man. We're in a very vintage room, is the word I'd use. We got some nice architectural work going, but it's got a funny smell to it. There's a little bit of a mold smell to it, but it's an old building down in Port of Tacoma.
I want to point out that there's a sign taped to the wall with no context. It's just a blank printer paper with a scotch tape to the manila wall that says "won't flush until water comes back on." written in bad pencil handwriting, and that's the only.
So why is there like sound baffling stuff in here?
Yeah, so the company I work for, Northwest Stage, this used to be our video editing room. We used to do so for clients and stuff like that, we edit videos. We have removed our office upstairs, so it's a floor above us, and we just haven't had to take the time to pull all this stuff down. Most of it's adhesively secured to the wall, so it kind of But I figured it was perfect for the podcast because if you clap, we won't get crazy
echo.
Yeah,
it's good. So that should let people know where we're sitting. I guess good enough.
Yeah.
You know? Funky, it smells funny, it has soundproofing, and it's got a sign about flushing toilets.
It's got heart though.
Yeah,
It's got
all
heart.
kinds of heart. 3 of them in particular.
and they're beating.
Yeah. Cool. So the next thing we have to do a little bullet point rundown of the things we may talk about on this podcast today. Obviously, Dallen and Silas are the big, we'll talk all about how you guys came together, what you're doing, what you want to do, all that kind of good band stuff.
Sure.
I'd like to just check in on Strive, just to be what's going down with Strive?
Yeah. You want to do that right now? Or we're going to keep bulleting?
We'll bullet point here.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you guys can think of that you might want to bring up in this conversation? I know I put you on the spot a little bit.
Man, maybe more of us just focusing on our new sound and trying to curate what we're really about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do it.
Is there anything that you're looking for out of this?
Yeah.
What am I looking for? I want this to be the best podcast that's ever been podcasted.
Ooh.
I know.
We can do that.
I'm going to refer back to the pants off thing that we were talking about earlier.
Well, luckily we got video of this, I guess.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
we?
Yeah, we got some form, yeah.
There'll be some video out there of this.
Yeah, if you'd like to see the video, you can check out our Instagram page at Dallen and Silas.
There you go. Yeah, boom. There you go.
All right, let's just get started with Dallen Silas. What is Dallen and Silas all about? Let's say how did it start? Let's go. Just give me some just general points, and then I'll try to mine into it with what else I want to discover from you guys.
Yeah. So Dallen and I have been friends since 8th grade. I was dating this girl in middle school, and we broke up. And I lost all the friends that I'd gained. When I was dating her. So I was essentially a vagabond among my middle school. Just didn't have any friends, and and I switched schools for a semester. And then I came back, and then I just didn't have any friends. And Dallen kind of adopted me into his little friend group, and so just really took care of me. And so and then we've really been friends ever since. He's moved all over the place, but we've always kind of made a point to stay in touch. And then maybe about 2 years ago, he started really getting serious about rap, and then about a year and a half ago, I started getting serious about music production, and so we kind of decided to try and coalesce our arts.
Cool. What was the moment that you saw Silas sing? What made you say, I need to be friends with that guy, I need to help him out a little bit?
Oh, man. Okay, so for that, I need to go a little bit further back.
Okay.
Man, back in high school, I was I was a confused kid, but I was a really big metalhead in high school.
Nice.
I like punk and metal and stuff like that. And he had a Day to Remember shirt, and tighter jeans than me. So I was like, man, this guy is super cool. So I started talking to him, and figured out he was a musician, and our interests lined up, and it was history. We've been friends ever since.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So, what is Dallen and Silas then in terms of the musical entity? What do you guys do? What do you make? What kind of music is it? How do you
make hits?
Yeah.
We hate boxing it, but we like to make some form of melodic hip hop to a lot of pop kind of sounding stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not above funk. We're not above R&B. We're ready to step into those genres.
Sure. And you're making, so you guys are kind of known each other a long time, but you just formed this project?
Yeah, this is probably been a year in the making. So basically, I've been trying to curate production for Dallen for probably probably 2 years ago. I was trying making beats and stuff like that, and he wasn't really feeling it. So we would just record over beats and stuff like that, and then maybe a year ago we randomly we're hanging out and we ended up making something, and it ended up being cool. So then we were okay, then we filmed a video for it because one of my friends was in town who does video, and then we were oh crap, we did a music video and we have a song.
Yeah.
I guess it's time that we tried to actually take this project seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty much June of last year. So it's been around 9 months now, and we've just been mainly focusing on the curation of like content, you know, like so like making sure we have like songs and stuff like that. But we're not like chasing any sort of like specific project right now, like album wise.
So it's mainly the goal. I was gonna roll this into like the goals of the band is just you're just working on material right now, it sounds like.
Yeah, essentially we're building up our catalog and working on our live set, curating like pretty much we're trying to be different, trying to figure out what we can do to be different. As far as live shows, we're looking to outsource to more local musicians so we can get a wider variety of instruments on stage. Like we're looking into even like trumpet players, saxophone players, string instrument players to really make us branch out from just a backbeat and a vocalist, you know what I mean? And Silas playing guitar, but that already adds a lot of dynamic to what we do.
So what does it exist right now? Like, are you trying to build out a full band that you'll play with, or will you be able to play with just like a laptop and guitar?
That's the thing. Actually, we're working on everything. We're gonna have an acoustic set list. So we want to be coffee shop ready to stadium venue ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What would that coffee shop setup look like?
I'd probably just play guitar and then like a lot. So we only have like maybe like 5 songs up on our SoundCloud right now, but we actually like we've written quite a bit. So we have like a lot of just like normal like hip hop like inspired singer songwriter music that we're like we have to like we actually have like a lot in the spank bank like on my computer.
Yeah.
Do you Dallen, do you sing as well?
Yeah, I'm getting more into it. Silas definitely helped me branch out into that. At first, I started out very much as like a MC, very lyricist based, but now I'm really getting into the melodic field of it all, and more of the singing stuff. I'm kind of moving away from the rap and the lyricism, but I do want to keep it in, of course, and incorporate it into the melodic flows and stuff like that. So
what is your goal for your project in terms of? Do you want to have a solid recording before you start playing shows, or do you want to just put the band together, play shows, and then work on the recording after?
Yeah. If I could take this, So like, our whole mindset right now is, it's like one of those things you can never like do one and then the other. It's always like you're trying to do everything all at once, and then like basically like they all kind of like eventually all click.
Right.
Basically we've decided that we're gonna work on just releasing singles and work on our live set. And then as we like kind of, basically we don't come from like a musical background. Like neither of us have been in bands and stuff like that. So we want to like, make sure that we get everything ready. And then like when we're ready to like really start pursuing it, we'll have all the items in place. So we're, trying to do shows and stuff now, but kind of like a little more stripped down. Mm-hmm. Ask your question one more time. I think I got off topic.
No, you're close. It's just finding out because there's like a lot of bands. There's a lot of ways to start a project.
Definitely.
You record an album solid, then you find players to play that album. Yeah. And then there's put a band together, figure out what it is you're actually going to do, go play live, and then record once you've figured that out. Yeah. So it's like, it sounds like you're more on the side of let's record it all, have it ready to go, and then find people to help support what we just did, what we made.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the way we're going. And like what he was saying was a lot like we have, so we actually just performed our first show on Friday last week.
Oh, what was that?
We did at the Fulcrum Gallery. It's in Tacoma. It was an art show that our friend was releasing his album at. Okay. And so he had us play after him and just kind of like.
How'd that feel?
Great. Yeah. Like so, it was a bunch of like Tacoma hip hop artists that like were playing like with like just their production playing like over turntables in the background. So like I played guitar and Dallen rapped and like it felt like it was like a cool environment to like have like real instruments and like a production and like Dallen like
for sure. No, all the comments we got were it was great for a first show. Cool. And Silas, I mean, we were the only ones who had like an actual instrument besides the backbeat. Yeah, Silas was playing guitar and it was just a really cool experience, and I can totally see it with the full setup, like the drums, and we want to go all out with it.
Yeah.
We want to look like an SNL performance, like
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, go ahead.
No, so what's the workflow for you guys right now in terms of when you write together? How do you write together?
Man, I think the best, most raw way to put that, our kind of like set up our system. The best way we've done it is either go out and collect samples throughout the city, our local city, and we find really cool things to tap on and, just shake and make cool sounds with. That's actually how the Getaway was made. We went around and down to Seattle.
No, yeah, we were like in Tacoma, and we I have like a little field recorder, so we like to curate our sound based on like our environment. So we hit a bunch of things, and then we came back and we like organized them into on Ableton.
Yeah. We had like a bike rack as a hi hat and like a mailbox for like some snares. You know what I mean? Just like very minimal things.
So basically, yeah. So I like to approach my production in that style, and I like to use samples and stuff like that, and then generally I'll make something like that, and then I'll present it to Dallen, and I'll make sure it's like super rough. There's no organization. There's no arrangement. It's just like a loop, and he'll be like yes or no, and then if he says yes, then I'm like yeah, and I'm all elated, and then we move forward, and then that's like the hard part where like we'll just spend like hours like deciding how we want to like arrange it, and then at that point like we'll kind of get a small arrangement going, and we'll rough out like if we want it to totally change, we'll like just leave like a blank space, and I give it to Dallen, and then he goes home and he writes to it, or we'll try and like write something like just a small something to get started in like my still home studio, and then we'll he'll come back over and lay down his things, and while he's gone, I'll be working on like with the concept in mind of what we're trying to achieve. I'll go back and I'll reproduce like and make sure I've like really achieved the sound that I'm looking for based on like our like combination ideas, and then and then he comes back over, we record vocals, and then generally like and then I spend like 15 hours like fine tuning everything, and then we're like generally good to go, and that's like part of the way we like to do it the most. But also we do a lot of Dallen will come in with like a beat that he's found, and then we'll track to it, and and then we'll try and recreate like not recreate, but like we'll try and reinvent like how it like is arranged and like how it sounds, and we'll totally come up with like a totally new idea, and then we'll pursue that. So
So you said you have a bunch of ideas in the computer already. You have a few songs, like 5 or so online, ready to go. When's your projected timeline for having like a body of work that you're like quote unquote done with, so that you can move to the next step of like, let's put this band together or whatever?
We're hoping summertime we can start actually having a full developed live set as well as a project. Hopefully we can maybe catch some tours, and we want to have our merch line ready as well. There's so much to prepare. It's hard to actually gauge, but we know at least summertime we want to have a product out.
I think it's good that you have that mindset of like, I think the more I've been in this game now, the more you have prepared before you go, I think you're better off. Like if hindsight 2020 kind of idea, it's like I was always like I just want to go out and play. I just want to play shows. But not realizing you're leaving so much on the table if you don't have your merch, if you don't have a good recording, if you don't have all this stuff when you're playing, and then now, and that was like when I started, which was a while ago, and now with social media and what's going on, which brings me to my next kind of question of you guys, because I know Silas with the Strive stuff is the multimedia aspect of music is very important. So how are you bringing that? Maybe you could talk about the video you made a little bit in here, but how are you bringing the multimedia aspect into this project?
Yeah, definitely like just to jump on that last little statement you said. Yeah, it's definitely like all about like re-engagement. Like you go out and like you meet these people at a show, but then you need to be able to like find a way to like reconnect with them, and that's the tough part, and that's what you want to be prepared for. Like if you sell them a shirt, then like boom, like you have that like that relationship. And so it's like being prepared is like tough. Like I just set up our email list like last night, like just like we're constantly trying to do things. But as far as like the multimedia platform, it's like I mean I just like as a person I just love doing things, and especially doing them with my friends, which is like why Dallen and Silas like as a project is perfect, because Dallen and I are best friends. But so as far as like the videos go, like I have with my history like at Tacoma School of the Arts, I have like quite a few friends who are pursuing film as like a career. So I've been really fortunate to like connect with a couple of them, and like like in the early stages before they're like charging for work and stuff like that, and like really like kind of jump on like and like while they're the most open to like weird wacky ideas that like they may turn down if it's like a client, because it's like too weird or something. I don't know. So basically like it's just really important to me like hold on. I think what I'm trying to say is like I like hanging out with people or spending time with my friends, and most of my friends make art, so it's like how can we
make art together,
and so it just kind of it naturally happens. that way, and so that's kind of like where the multimedia aspect comes from.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, break down, get nerdy on the video you guys made. What was the song? Because it was a Dallen and Silas song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then walk me through like who helped you produce that video.
So we actually have 3 music videos that we've done. Yeah,
okay.
We're
Well,
like
I'm behind.
No, you're fine. There's only 2 out.
Okay.
The first one was like for the song we made. The first song we did, and we made it here at this warehouse.
Yeah.
And my friend Daniel Lazar, who is currently taking clients, so you can go to his website, daniellazar.com.
Shameless plug.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Dropping names.
Yeah, he goes to NYU for film, and he wants to become a cinematographer or a lighting director. He's super legit. Anyway, so he was visiting his family for the summer, and we had just done like that song, and he's just like loves his art, man, and like just wanted to like create a video. And then our warehouse is really interesting, and since we're a production company, we have all sorts of weird odds and ends, and like things from theatrical performances, like weird like art pieces and stuff. So we're like perfect. So we just kind of like took the entire warehouse and put it upstairs and like hung all our lights and stuff like that, and created the video that way, and it was perfect because we had like such an array of like palette of ideas to choose from. And then the second music video was song is actually the one we haven't released yet. We also filmed it here, and we actually I kind of like filmed that one. We had help with we had help with another friend of mine named Hunter Soto. You can find him at huntersoto.com. SOTO is his last name. And he's just another like Tacoma cinematographer. He's like really cool, and so we wanted to do just like a one take, like hit the camera once and then like just roll. So maybe I can show you after that.
Did you rehearse?
We did it like 10 or 12 times.
Okay.
With multiple moving parts.
We're like drinking and stuff in the video too. So like we're like just wrecked by the end of the night. Like
it was tough.
Yeah. It was actually tons of fun. And then so it was cool. Like, and it was also in this warehouse. Like we just like I'm so fortunate to have like my connections with with everybody. Like I had the help of my friends. My boss supports me and like letting me like use the warehouse space and stuff. So
shout out to Ron.
Yeah, Ron. And then this last video, like I was it's all kind of based on my work actually. So like Ron, we were doing a stage build down in Portland, so we went down there and I connected with an old friend of mine that I had been in a band with like a long time ago, and he's been getting into video lately. So when Dallen and I had just finished like a new track, and we had just gotten it mixed by this engineer that I know, and so we had just got it back. We were super psyched about it, and then while we were down there, I had we needed more employees for our deck build. It was a huge stage, so we like called in some of my friends from down there. One of them wanted to was into video. He's like, cool, like I'd love to like help you guys on a video. So
we're really fortunate to run into
Sean. So like it just happens like that, and you can find him at SeanCoates.com. Like all these people, like they just get their names as their websites. It's like good for them.
Well, the thing is, like we just kind of fell into their free work. Like Silas was saying, we caught the wave on like the timeline of them getting into the video, and them actually being good as they get into it, which is pretty fortunate as well. But all of our videos have been free, and thank you to all of the people that have helped us.
Where can people find your videos? What's the
DallenandSilas.com.
Yeah.
It's we're
A&D or Anfrey?
Is it? It's spelled out.
A&D.
Yeah, it's A&D. So
actually,
DALLEN ANDSILAS. Yeah, my name's actually the hard one to spell in this situation. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So like that's where you got your videos.
Yeah, they're all there. It's hyperlinked to our YouTube channel, so I mean they'll go to our YouTube channel after that.
Yeah, or you can type in Dallen and Silas on YouTube, and all of our music videos are there.
Cool, awesome. Yeah. Well, guess what? We're at that halfway point. Whoa! So let's drop in some music.
Cool, man. Yeah.
What are we gonna do first?
I'm gonna clear my throat real quick, actually.
Well, today we're gonna be dropping Ice Cream Sundae on the Needle. We're gonna be spinning that today.
Okay, Ice Cream Sundae. Tell us about Ice Cream Sundae. Is this
There's totally oh man, there's like totally a story to it too. Yeah. Like it's so cool.
Go ahead.
Drop it.
Oh, okay. Actually, I've been talking a lot. Like you should let Dallen talk some.
If Dallen wants to, he's all good. I feel it's been pretty good.
Okay. Well, here I go. So Dallen had like a hook that he wanted. He had written to like a beat he had found online, and I like really thought the hook was nice, and so I went about like making it like an arrangement for it. And the one thing about the like the production that he had like written it to was that there was a really nice sample in it, and it was like kind of like what made like that sample production cool. We're like, oh, like what? So I was like trying to like hustle a way to like recreate like like find another sample, or like, you know, like create some sort of melodic line that could be just as cool. And so I ended up like reaching out to a friend of mine named Heather Chelan, who's like a singer-songwriter that from Tacoma, but recently moved down to LA.
Okay.
And so like Dallen and I kind of like recorded it, but it was still super bare bones. And I sent it to her, and I was like, Heather, like you help me, you know, like I was like, I need something. And so she was like really fortunate. She lives with a couple like music producers.
Okay.
And so they recorded her, like you know, like 10 or 15, like they had like 10 or 15 takes of her like singing the hook. And actually it was really cool because like she like Skyped us, and we like wrote the hook together like while Skyping, and then and then so she recorded that and then sent me the stems, and then we put it all together. And
yeah, man, honestly, this is one of our first biggest productions. I mean, The Getaway had a really big video production, but man, Silas took this and ran with it. There's the last part of Ice Cream Sunday features like a kind of like a gospel breakdown, if you will, and man, I can't believe how he put it together with all the sample stems that Heather gave him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it was like I just kind of like being inspired by like Kirk Franklin a little bit. Like he has like some really cool things. So I was like, and Heather has like just a really like soulful voice. So it was like perfect.
Cool.
And we just built it around that. Yeah.
That's a great.
All right, so it's just a single, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just on, like it's on our SoundCloud. Like,
Okay.
just go find it.
So Ice Cream Sunday by Dallen and Silas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ice cream sundae. Yeah, I like you, gotta have you, 'cause I love the taste. In the sheets, baby, take me all the way. Give me a double scoop of your honey. Yeah. Ice cream sundae.
I just keep you on my mind, and I do this all the time. You know everything you wanted, it can happen overnight. You should roll up to the crib, you should bring the whole crew. She just hit me with the text, best believe I'm coming soon. Hey, I'll be waiting all day. I'm the only nigga got you covered, talking all state. Out here getting paid. Money conversate. She said I don't need no lemonade, 'cause money all I chase. 24 hours I've been at it, I'm an addict. Do you like it? Do you love it? Gotta have it. Yeah, we some cold stone lovers. Cold stone loving. Cold stone lovers. Ice cream sundae. 24 hours I've been at it, I'm an addict. Do you like it? Do you love it? Gotta have it. Yeah, we some cold stone lovers. Cold stone loving. Cold stone lovers. Ice cream sundae.
Yeah, I like you, gotta have you, 'cause I love the taste. In the sheets, baby, take me all the way. Give me double scoop of your body. Yeah, ice cream sundae. Yeah, I like you, gotta have you, 'cause I love the taste. In the sheets, baby, take me all the way. Give me double scoop of your body. Yeah, ice cream sundae.
We've been messing up my bed, we've been tearing up the sheets. Maybe you should get some rest. She said, come on, baby, please. We got time that we should spend. Trust me, it don't grow on trees. No, hey, for sure, hey. Feel like I caught me away that I took to the show. Reppin' WA, you know we poppin' for sure. Got that Seattle rain, that's Sativa West Coast. Yeah, shout out to Strive, you know you fuck with the host. Okay, 24 hours I've been at it, I'm an addict. Do you like it? Do you love it? Gotta have it. We some cold stone lovers, cold stone loving, cold stone lovers. Ice cream sundae. 24 hours I've been at it, I'm an addict. Do you like it? Do you love it? Gotta have it. Yeah, we some cold stone lovers, cold stone loving, cold stone lovers. Ice cream sundae.
Yeah, I like you, gotta have you, 'cause I love the taste. In the sheets, baby, take me all the way. Give me double scoop of your body. Yeah, ice cream sundae.
24 hours I've been at it, I'm an addict. Do you like it? Do you love it? Gotta have it. Get it, girl. Cold stone lovers, cold stone lovers, cold stone lovers. Ice cream sundae. 24 hours I've been at it, I'm an addict. Do you like it? Do you love it? Gotta have it. Yeah, we some cold stone lovers, cold stone lovers, cold stone lovers. Ice cream sundae.
Cold stone loving.
All right, this is a quick reminder. This is a community-supported podcast. Become a Patreon partner, $1 or more, over on patreon.com/thezim. Go to facebook.com/We're on the Street Podcast. Give the page a like, share it with your friends. Find the podcast on iTunes. Rate, review, and subscribe. All right, let's get back to talking with Dallen and Silas.
All right, cool. All right, so one of the things before the song that I heard you say, Silas, was one of your songs you sent off to mix to have somebody else mix.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking about like in the workflow process of where you're working, because that's kind of your game in a lot of ways. This is like the mixing and producing and stuff.
Yeah.
But yet you had one song sent off to be mixed.
No,
Like-
actually, no. We have all of our stuff
of them.
mixed by other people.
Oh, okay. So why? Tell me about that choice. Why did you make that choice? And just
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, just music production as a whole is such a huge game. You know, like it's just multifaceted. Like, and so I definitely like curating sounds and stuff like that. And I just want people to like be able to listen to it and have like a professional listening. I don't want them to hear like some sounds that like a 19-year-old made like on his laptop.
Yeah.
So I really I felt like it was like in our best interest to have like a professional like come in and record it or
Yeah.
not record it but mix it. And so there's a studio that's pretty close to my house, and I've had like a working relationship with them for like a really long time. And like one of like the members of the studio, like him and I were like in a band like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the studio is called Skyrise Studios. They're like located in Federal Way. So basically when I finish a production, I have it like mixed my way. And then I export all the stems, and like I go over there with him and we like mix it together.
Oh, cool.
And it works for me too, because like I just got into music production like everyone else. I just watched YouTube tutorials, and and I know a bit about music theory, and so I just I make it work like that. But he knows what's up. So it's really nice because he lets me like ask questions, and I get to see how he mixes. And I'm still just an amateur, just kind of like trying to do my thing, find my
That's
feet.
what set us apart, though. We're able to be real with ourselves and outsource when we need to in order to look the part and always be the part when we need to. And so I think a good mix is what can set you apart from an amateur. And
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so we just wanted to sound professional, and
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure that wasn't a variable that I held, so I wanted to outsource
Well, you're
it.
lucky. I feel like you're lucky to learn that early or whatever, or at least be present to that idea early. Because, I wish I knew that earlier, or wish I was make that kind of, not so much that, I was always willing to let it happen, but how willing was I to make it happen?
Yeah.
And what I just recently realized for myself is I do not want to produce my own music, because that's just too much work that really to learn all that, and there's people out there that can do it. So what I need to do is make sure that I can put myself in a position to do that, which usually means money in most cases. It's just do whatever I need to make enough money to have people mix and produce my records, because it'll be so much more beneficial down the line. Because it just happened to me. I just had a friend of mine produce.
No, I listened to the track. I thought it was super. He did some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I really liked that track. Actually, I think I shared it. Yeah, I was really into it.
Yeah, you did. Thanks for that.
Yeah, of course.
Because my life has been transformed. I'd never want to touch my own music again in that way. I'm because I actually have a second track that I've been emailing back and forth with another friend of mine that's producing it. So I'm stoked that he's got inspired by it, and it's we're talking about it. So it's just So good on you guys, man. Because that's basically what I wanted to find out is. How stubborn were you with, I really want to do this myself, or it sounds like you're just open to whatever it takes to make the best product.
Yeah, and with mixing, there's straight up some magic involved that I don't understand. The whole idea of there's a lot of bass, low end heavy elements in our music 'cause it's hip hop, and so with 808s and just low end, I don't want the deciding factor to be me trying to mix it. So so Adam just comes in adds his pixie dust, and it sounds good. And my mixes are pretty close to what they sound like when he finishes them, but he has his whole mastering process that he does. So it wasn't really much of a decision. It was more of how am I going to get the money for this, and that's a lot a huge reason why we haven't tried to put out more music. Is just it is a bit of a financial barrier. You know,
the process is tough.
Yeah,
we have massive respect for people who are kicking out content on the daily or have a weekly song that they drop, because we just can't keep up with that right now. Our workflow isn't catering to that, but
I'm trying to do a monthly song.
That's nice.
Every month I drop, but my idea is to do write, record, and publish. So the whole 9 basically for one song every month. you know, which is kind of tough.
That's
especially-
that's really hard.
Yeah.
Like like respect. Like while you're trying to juggle like a new place, a new job, like
all that stuff too. Yeah.
production, and like if you're having like your production outsourced, like working with someone else's schedule, like and like trying to be like like you know like work on this, but like I understand you're busy, but like
Oh, okay. So an added addendum to that statement is, as long as I have 12 songs by the end of the year, so they don't all have to be released. So like my January song got released like midway through February. Basically.
Oh, I see. what
So,
you're saying,
but
yeah.
as long as they're working, so by the end of the year I have 12 songs, then I'm fine. But it still means I have to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
But there's a little slack there.
Yeah, that's a good way to
no,
keep
actually
you busy.
that's really
yeah.
that's a really like inspiring goal. Like for anyone listening, like try and keep up with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Let them try.
Right.
Like that's tough. Like it's you could write a song a month, like that's possible, but like
yeah.
full production, like
Yeah.
mixed, like
Yeah.
that's like there's just so many moving parts. Like
Plus marketing. Like,
plus
on top.
marketing, like
yeah.
you don't want to like throw it out to deaf ears, like
Yeah.
like
Well, I don't do too much market. It's like, all my marketing is because I'm just doing a lot of stuff.
Right,
So I
right.
just market it in my own little
All your platforms.
Yeah.
platform.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
no, you can't say that you don't do marketing because
Yeah, you're doing
you're
it.
so
You're
busy.
doing it,
Like
yeah.
you're so busy. You got it all.
Well, I kind of wanted to change the course of this conversation a little bit, but I wanted to present the opportunity. What about Dallen and Silas have we not touched on that maybe you want to mention? But is there anything that because we kind of talked about your goals a little bit, what you're working on now. Let's just drop in, like, you have the immediate goal of just getting it together and getting launched. Do you have any kind of like hopes or visions for like a 2-year down the line kind of thing, like what you'd like to see? Like you mentioned touring, I think you said.
Definitely touring.
Yeah.
If we can get on the road and start seeing new faces and
Yeah.
reaching out to new audiences, that is the most beneficial thing we can
Yeah,
do.
like
right now.
we just want to be able to do shows and like have have an audience. Like basically, like a dream would be like to work with Kanye, like dream big a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're still like small ponds, like
Yeah.
or
There's a
small
goal.
minnows. Yeah, like we're just we don't even know what we want to do.
Yeah, sadly, we are still technically in the developmental stage,
Yeah.
but we are like so far in the future. We're ready to do
Well,
that.
cool.
kind of
This is a
stuff.
good segue into my next line of questioning, I guess you could say. I've been working on these. I have 3 questions I'm going to ask you guys. Basically, it's and I don't think we touched on this the first time you were on the podcast, so I think it's fresh for you as well. But there's 3 questions. The first question is, why do you make music? Like, what is it about music that gets you inspired, makes you want to do it? Whatever it is, whatever that answer is, it could be anything. So think about that. The second question is, through that journey, through discovering that you like to make it, that you want to make it, who has been your biggest support in the process? And then the third question is exactly what we just were talking about. What are those dreams, those goals? What is it that you want? What is it that you lie awake about, thinking about? And I like to use that opportunity on this podcast as like a chance to set an intention to the universe, in a sense. So you can think big, or you can think whatever it is that's important. Like for me, sometimes it's just like I just want to get a nice quality recording done, and that's not, but then there's you can take it anywhere you want, It could be. So Dallen, why don't we start with you?
Cool.
So why do you make music? What is it about music that makes you want to be a part of this conversation?
I make music because, I mean, every time I make a track that inspires me, it just makes me want to keep going. I also make music because of the validation I receive from people to tell me to keep going because they're inspired by my stuff, or not even my stuff. Silas is producing most people without my vocals on it, so let alone just us together is pretty much a really good duo. We're ready to step out and make a change. Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah,
What was
just
it?
like, why do you make music? Like, what
Oh,
is
yeah,
it? What drives you? What's the fire inside? Or
Man, honestly, good content, good quality content. I listen to the radio and I hear a lot of music. I'm not, I'm not exactly not supportive of, but I'm kind of disappointed.
okay,
You know what I mean?
So you wanna make a statement
Make a statement.
that
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
think is out there yet.
I think people can make better music, and we want to take the time to show people that just a couple of 20-year-olds with a laptop can do something.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Silas?
By the way, I use a full size monitor. I don't use like full size Mac. For me, like it definitely stems from a place of wanting just to create art with my friends. I kind of like I naturally just like love music, and I wanted to do it.
Like music is just the art is the primary piece, and music is like a piece of just for you. Is that right? Does that make sense? So like the fact that you just happen to be making music now, but it's like you just want to express artistically with your friends.
Yeah, I think like the entire reason I do this is like for the communal aspect. That's why I started Strive, was I wanted to create with other people. Like I like I'm like naturally a very unmotivated person, but if I have to do something with someone else, like I really like I really like try to step up to the plate and like bring something to the table, and that really like I feel like brings out the best in me. So like doing projects with other people is like really where I shine. Also like I'm really obsessive with being in control, and so you know, as a 18-year-old, there's no like I can't be a manager anywhere, or like, you know, I maybe I could, but and so there's nothing I can like, you know, be in charge of and like own like as myself, and so like this gives me like something that I can like obsess about and like, you know, be in charge of every single detail, and like it allows me to have that control that I like really want. And then so that's definitely like why I make art, and what drives me to do it is just like spending time and being. I know.
Video fell over.
Yeah, we got enough content.
I know. Yeah, it's honestly it probably stopped recording. Phone probably died, honestly. So yeah, like that's like really where music comes from with me. All my friends make music. I love it. Like it's a passion. It's something that's challenging for me. I thought I was tone deaf in middle school, actually.
Oh, okay.
And like Dallen and I've had this conversation. Matt and I have had this conversation a million times. Like like people like told me I've been tone deaf, and like so. I mean, you know, I'm obviously
it's like a challenge. It's like the adversity of it, like, makes you want to do it even more.
Yeah.
I think I can relate to that for sure.
Definitely, please, yeah, thank you. And that's just indicative of like who I am as well. Like I do like challenges. Like my dad and I, when I was in 8th grade, we biked from my house in Federal Way, Washington, to Washington D.C.
Oh wow!
We rode like, actually we skipped a little bit. We ended up riding like 2,300 miles. Yeah. We hiked like parts of the PCT.
That sounds impossible. That's a true story. Yeah.
Yeah. I hitchhiked to LA last year. Like I'm just really like I like doing things that like are hard. Dallen and I are planning on hitchhiking to Toronto this summer. Like we have like a couple like, you know, like I just really like doing stuff like that. So music is something I can do every day that challenges me. That like how those journeys have challenged me. So that's why I like doing it. And then there was one last part of the question. It was why I make it.
Okay. Well, we have a second question.
Goals.
Yeah, the goal, but we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
The second part of this course of questions is who has been your biggest support? Like now that you know that you like to do this stuff, you're doing it. Who has helped you, support you to do it? You kind of maybe hinted at some of it a moment ago, Dallen, where you said like the reaction of the audience.
Right.
That's a style of support.
Of course, yeah. All of the people who support our music or have ever given me a compliment or told me even to keep going, like, are a big inspiration and big part of why we still do this. But I'd have to say the biggest person is, you know, us, each other, man. Like me and Silas have to keep each other going. Like as far as me slacking on my job and not writing to songs, like he gets on my ass, and as far as him not making beats, like it's vice versa. Like we definitely take the time to curate our sounds together, and you know, of course, like our parents, they've been a huge support.
Yeah, like we both, like, our parents love us dearly. Like my grandparents have been like just so like supportive of music for me, like since I was like a child. Like they like, you know, like my mom got me my first guitar, like all that stuff. My boss like lets me use like when I last summer I couldn't have my studio at my house, and so he let me like move my studio to the warehouse, and I like literally slept here for a summer. I had like a hammock strung up like in the warehouse, and I would like produce till 3 a.m., sleep in my hammock, and then go to work at 8 a.m. You know, like walk down his level to the office. So we just really fortunate by like our community, I guess it was a good way to put it. Like
cool, awesome. And I think so I like those answers to those first two questions because I like this as a time capsule for you guys. Because like so where I'm at, I'm like 40. I just turned 40 years old.
Congrats.
You know,
what?
Made it. You made it.
You can't tell. You can't tell. For those who haven't seen you, you can't tell.
27 Club didn't take you.
So the perspective, you know, everybody has their own perspective on things. So like I just offered those answers as a time capsule so that when you do turn 40, you can look back and listen to yourselves and say, okay, that's where my mind was at that time. Where is my mind at now? Because obviously I have 20 years on you guys, and it makes my answers shift a little to different things. But here at this moment, this is your opportunity to get a leg up on what I had, and here's your opportunity to say what are your goals, and put that to the universe to say this is what we are going to create with our careers and our lives and stuff, and you're doing it at now, whereas I'm, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's
so
thank you.
So Dallen, like, what is it that you want? Like, what inspires you? What are you striving for? And like I said, it doesn't, I'm kind of building this up a lot.
Right,
you don't have
right.
to say, I want to go on a world tour and blah, 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 and take over the world. It can be something simple too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what is the things that you want? What's your goal? What inspires you to keep going and working toward?
Man, honestly, me and Silas have always had this big dream to live off of our music and just do that as like a day job and create for people and just be like kind of like a source for sound, which would be very nice for us. But as far as that platform, we'd like to branch off of that platform, and I'd love to end up investing in something for the community. I've said this a lot to Silas, but I'd love to come back to Tacoma as like a successful artist and invest in like a skate park or like some sort of park for the community, or do something, man, because we'd love to get involved with our local scene like after the fact. But as far as goals, man, like we just want to do this forever. Like that's it, man. And it's just gonna get better over time, of course, and taking over the world and tours come with it. But yeah,
Cool.
I think that my goals are definitely, I think that I want to like constantly be pushing myself to do things that I haven't done before. I'm like very focused on like my human experience on this planet, like I want to make sure that I'm doing something every day to like that'll add to something, and I want to like make a difference. And so I really feel like that art is a really human thing, and so creating art is something that I want to do every day. That's like my goal. And then also like giving a platform for other people to do that, which is why Matt and I started Strive, which is we wanted like create a way for people to realize that art is really accessible. And so I think like I don't know in what shape that'll manifest in the future, but I hope that I can give people a way to create in the future.
Awesome. I think do you mind if I give you advice?
Please.
At least from
Please.
my perspective
Yes.
of life and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I have a visceral physical reaction to advice that's not asked for, like when people like here's some advice for you guys,
But I really value your opinions. Can I just say
for
that?
sure.
So what resonated for me, especially when Dallen was talking, and you touched on it too a little bit, was this desire to give back to the community, right? But there was this caveat of after I make it, right? Mm-hmm. But if you shift your thinking, I firmly believe if you shift your thinking and find out what is it you can do right now to give back, it'll help manifest that future goal.
Those are very wise words. Yes.
So it's like it may be small. It's like you want the skate park or whatever it is. Find out in the community that's the people that need support for another skate park or whatever it may be. But see what you can do now. As you grow through it, because there's just so many possibilities that manifest from it, because you'll be in that network. You'll understand how it works. When you do have the affluence to support it, you'll understand where to align yourself better than just, you know what I mean? It's like you'll learn as you
100%.
go.
Yeah, no, honestly, that that's probably one of the best advice you could have gave us. We are very future based. Like we are very like
always plan for tomorrow.
The dreamers, the full on dreamers. But in that aspect, we can definitely focus on more of the right now. We are handling 5 departments as 2 living bodies. But
actually, so Dallen and I are both like working 2 jobs right now. So we're currently at my place of work. Like I just told my boss, like I'm gonna be back in an hour. So but we are actively trying to do things.
Well, it's not. I don't want to make this about me too much, but that's exactly why I do the $1 model for the Patreon.
Right.
It's like shift your thinking about. A lot of people, I think, get caught up in what they can't support instead of how they can. And there's always a way to support your community or whatever. If you just shift it and go, oh yeah, maybe I can't drop $1,000 on this benefit or whatever, but I can spend an hour of a week doing whatever it may be, like cleaning up the street or whatever, whatever. I don't think there's endless possibilities of how to give support to your community.
Of course,
you just
yeah.
got to shift your thinking because then it just becomes an excuse, right? Then people just go like, well, I can't do that, so I just won't do anything.
Yeah, that's, That's
So,
true. Yeah.
Just something there.
No,
No,
yeah,
totally,
I
yeah.
feel like, like it's more about like the smaller acts that like cents make a dollar. You know,
Yeah.
For
footsteps
sure.
build miles. Like
Yeah.
you have to start with something, and like
Yeah.
and it builds up over time.
Yeah.
I completely.
We
agree.
feel so young to this world too. Still, like it's so funny to like deal with these challenges because like not even above the legal drinking age yet, and like.
Yeah, depends what ID you look at.
I know. Are we in Florida or are we in Washington?
Cool. Well, what I want to do now, so those are awesome. Thanks for having that part of the conversation. That was
yeah.
great.
Thank
I
you.
Love
Of
those
course.
answers. And that I'd like to get just caught up on Strive if you're
Yeah.
cool with that.
Yeah.
Like what happened, what's going on. Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
So for people who don't know, like Strive is like a project that I started with Matt Brown, and we're just trying to like.
And there's a big, huge podcast about it. Which
Yeah,
I, I'm sure I have mentioned you. That was, before the mics were on, we talked about experiences of the podcast, right? And I've told Silas this already but I was having a major freak out like during that podcast, and I held it together. You guys didn't know, but I deal with anxiety and stuff. And
Really?
I had and that was like at a time, I think, yeah, like I got all these bombs dropped on me with my family stuff and what was going on, and I had all these podcasts scheduled, and I didn't want to cancel, and I did not bring my A game to when you guys are on, but I want to apologize is basically what I'm saying.
It goes both ways too. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like that was the first time like Matt and I had ever like tried to like describe like in detail, like we'd never talked about it, and so. I've listened to it like several times since then, and I've like been so disappointed with like how I curated my answers because I feel like I have like a lot to say, and sometimes that's my problem because like your mouth is such a bottleneck for your ideas, like so I would like anytime I just ended up talking and just saying stuff. But anyways, like even just now, I just stuttered while trying to like describe what it was. But basically, it's like Matt and I tried to make a platform to show how songs were written,
Okay,
and
yeah.
we tried to do that through like interviewing people who write songs and asking them how they do it, and like trying to dig deep into the nitty gritty nuts and
Hosting
bolts.
writing sessions.
Yep, and then we would like host a writing session, which we would film all of it, and we would like edit together like this video of us writing a song, and then I would like go back and like we'd record it and like post it, and the whole idea was to just make songwriting more accessible and to realize that like a lot of like it's like like if I want to write a song, like where does it come from, like
Yeah.
how do I start, like do I just play this chord, and it's like you can start anywhere, and it's like and so like a lot of time that enigma is such a block for people, and so Matt and I really wanted to like try and address that, and like we just feel like that's like important, like art like has saved my life probably multiple times, and hopefully I want it to save someone else's life.
Right,
So,
right.
so what Strive is up to is Matt and I have kind of like haven't touched base in a while, like we like I've kind of like landed on Dallen Silas as my full-time project,
Sure.
and so Matt and I are like constantly sharing ideas of things we can do, but we're like looking for a time and place that we can make that happen. Also, like that was like our first big multimedia project, and so we didn't have like I was like literally dipping my toes into like music production. He was trying to get into film, and so we wanted to step away long enough to like be able to produce quality content that people like is makes it easy to learn. Like no one wants to watch a 20-minute video like with bad lighting, like to like learn how to write a song. So we have certain like we had certain like visions that we couldn't do at the moment, and so we wanted to put a pause on it until we could really really try and like make a difference. And so that's kind of what's up with it right now. Matt's like working a job, and like he's actually doing pest control, like just kind of funny, like he's doing pest control, like saving up enough money so he can like so we can do that, and then we're gonna meet back up and like hopefully be able to do some stuff.
Cool. All right. Well, that's good. I mean, great. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
But thanks for letting me talk about it. Like
I look forward to it because that's what connected me to you.
Yeah.
Because I love just the energy that you were bringing, like the multimedia aspect, music, like all the things that I think the greater community needs to be more aware of when they're creating in our current climate. Like you were like all about online, like showing this off, and just I don't know. There was something there, and I was like, I gotta learn about what they're doing and why they're doing it and stuff. So that's why I reached out and
made that happen.
Yeah, I still remember like the message too. Like it was such a big moment for like Matt and I were like, what? Like you know, we're just like we hadn't at that point we hadn't like left my house. You know, we were doing like we trying to do like 3 videos a week or something like something. That was January of 2016. Like the year had just started, and like we were just like weren't sleeping, and like it was like so much gratification to like hear like you know you like a podcaster like reach that was awesome. Like, that was so great.
Well, we'll keep it growing together, you know.
Yeah. Even this is exciting. Like, this is our first like actual interview.
Yeah, we have something for the press kit now. Like
like cool.
So
cool.
happy. Like
awesome. Well, we did it. I feel good about it.
Cool.
Is there anything that you guys wanted to punctuation mark at the end of this with at all?
Man, please go check out our website, DallenandSilas.com. DALLAN. Oh, sorry. DALLEN. That's my name. ANDSILAS.com.
Okay.
Also, Dallen and Silas is our what's that called? Handle for all of our social medias.
Yeah. Cool. So. Right on. So we got to put in another song at the end here. So what are we gonna do?
probably Hang Time.
Yeah. This is one of our more heavier hip hop flows, trappier flows, I guess.
Hang Time
versus Ice Cream Sunday, which is more of a poppier.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Hang Time.
We have a music video for this. It's on our YouTube page. It was the one we filmed down in Portland. It was actually while Portland was in the middle of like a snowstorm, like
crazy
like the
storm,
road. Yeah, there was like 3 inches of ice on every road. Actually, like our we were driving down there for work, and we had to get chains for our 24-foot trucks.
Oh wow!
Right, and like I've never driven a 24-foot truck with chains, like so like that was stressful for me. And so anyways, we got down there and like so we filmed it like and it was wild. Like we like driving to like locations, we like would like run into like curbs and stuff.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then as far as like the production goes, what do we do anything fun with it? Our friend Matt actually sings on the end of it.
Okay.
Like he has this really nice like little choir bit. I'm really into choirs. Like even though I don't sing. Like
cool.
oops.
Yeah. No, we had a great time filming it down there. I actually lost my phone down there, so it was kind of a tough time. What was it, like 2 degrees while we were filming? Like
yeah, like
it was probably one of the roughest productions we've ever done. Yeah. Video came out sick though.
Good stories.
It was inspired by Rick and Morty. If anyone's a fan of the show, like
Okay.
we love Rick and Morty.
I've heard of
show,
it.
great
I haven't
show, yeah.
watched it. But
It's like
Yeah, no worries.
cool. So all right. Well, Hang Time by Dallen and Silas.
Yep.
Thank you guys
Thank
again
you.
for being a part of this.
Appreciate you, man.
It's awesome. And as always, remember to party at the Moon Tower.
oh, I was trying to chime in. I was like moon.
See, the problem is I always do it at a different pace, and like so whatever.
Yeah. DNS. Strive on me. West. Look, I think it's time for the action. I got no time for reactions. Fuck all the comments, I mean it's obvious. Talking that nonsense, playing me down like you don't give a fuck. Blowing that smoke and I'm calling you bluff. You should just settle right back in the saddle. Born in Nevada, raised in Seattle. Sights how you chopping the beats. Hit them all with the bass line. All my niggas got the hang time. Pillars on me like I'm switching sides. Kill the game like a homicide. All these blessings on me too alive. Yeah. All these blessings on me, all these blessings on me. All these blessings on me, all these blessings on me, all these blessings on me. All these blessings on me, all these blessings on me. I can't run around with all these niggas running their mouth. I can't run around with all these niggas trying to turn down. When the police come around, I ain't seen nothing, I say shit. Been up since day one, I stayed down since 96. Look, I think I'm switching the frequency. I'm always doing the math. This year I stayed in the city. I'm trying to make this shit last. Shout out to Shot Town, my parents, they made it. Back on the grind till we finally famous. Loving the sound we can put on the playlist. Making this money, I'm loving the fragrance. All these blessings on me, all these blessings on me. Yeah, all these blessings on me, all these. Told my family I ain't coming home till I snatch a Grammy and I take the throne. Till Easy call me on a home phone. Got a voicemail in a dial tone.
You've reached Silas and Dallen, leave a message.
All these blessings on me, all these blessings on me. Goddamn, I got a message on me. Tell the world that they going zombie. Yeah, tell them all that they sleeping on me. Got a recipe, then it's rest in peace. Preacher sneeze, but he blessing me. See the vision like a centerpiece, and niggas fall in line like a centipede. Oh God. Oh God. lie, to a lie. To a lie, to a lie. All these blessings on me, all these blessings on me. All these blessings on me, all these.
What's your goal you're striving for right now? And I was just like, I don't really got one, you know? Like, I got dreams, passions, and shit, but I'm just like sitting here at Twitter fucking rotting. Yeah, dude, you want to go for those things that fucking matter to you. Fuck being safe. You gotta be safe to live a boring life. We get so caught up, like, we don't even think about time. It just passes.
All right, we made it to the end of another version of Word on the Street. Something I forgot to mention at the top. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for making it this far. You are awesome. I'm always curious how many people actually make it through the whole episode and how many people actually stick around for my little like ramblings at the very end. I have no idea. There's no way for me to tell how long people listen to these podcasts. But if you do, I love you. And so check it out. I forgot to mention at the top that the Zim and A-Rock, my band, we're going to be kicking it live at the High Dive in Fremont on June 11th. We're kicking down a show. We got Morning Glory Revival on the lineup with us, and we're still working out the deets on our third band. So stay tuned. And I hope to see you there because it'll be awesome to see you there. So as always, as I keep mentioning, I pound it into your skull. I'm looking for support. Basically, the bottom line is I want support for this thing that I'm building. I want to know you're out there. I want to know you care. So, and there's 3 ways that I'm pushing for you to do that. And then there's tons more, but the 3 that I'm pushing are, I want you to become a partner in this with me. I want you to be a part of this with me by going over to Patreon and becoming a Patreon partner. Go patreon.com/thezim, and you can become a partner for as little as $1 a month. You know, it takes money to make the world, our society, go round, to make things evolve, make things go. I got all the work ethic in the world. I got all the hustle and drive, but that only gets you so far in this land of milk and honey, as they say. So I need some financial support to kind of help get this pushed to the next level. And you can make that happen if you're into it, if you want to make it happen. So patreon.com/thezim, $1 or more. That's all it takes. And then there are a bunch of tier incentive level things over there, so check them out. Also, Facebook is huge. Facebook's the big thing right now. Facebook's where it's happening. So if we can get some action happening on Facebook, facebook.com/Word on the Street podcast, give that page a like, share it around with your friends, talk about it. Always, always, always comment on why you're sharing. Don't just hit the share button. That does jack squat for anything. You got to go share, and then it gives you the option to write something. You go, oh man, check out this podcast that was, Silas and Dallen were on, or Dallen and Silas, or or even an older episode, or just in general, the podcast in general. Check out this podcast that's trying to support the Seattle and Northwest music community. If you're into the local scene and what's going on, check it out. Just anything. You can write anything. Hey, he said fart at the very end. Check it, listen, whatever. And see how I did that? I just said it. But anyways, and then so be sure, and that goes with everything you're involved with. Every project you're trying to get behind, every one of your friends that post something that you want to help them, talk about it. Talk about why it's important to you. That'll go so much farther. People will actually go, oh, my friend's actually talking about something other than, it's not just another cat video. Oh, it's not just another silly thing on the internet. It's actually something of substance, something of content, something of meaning. That's what I'm going for anyway. I'm trying to make something. I'm not trying to just fill up space just because. I'm trying to actually create something with Word on the Street. So check it out, and you can help do that by sharing out the content, getting behind it, commenting, interacting with it on Facebook, doing all that good stuff over on Facebook. And of course, iTunes is the big kahuna gun thing, the big place, the big one, the big podcast world where if you have a podcast and you're not on iTunes, you might as well not have a podcast because nobody's gonna see it. You got to get it on iTunes. And ours, We're on the Street, your podcast is on iTunes, so you can go over there, rate, review, and subscribe. I haven't had a review on iTunes for a long ass time. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why nobody wants to review the podcast on iTunes, but it would help a lot if you did that for me, just to kind of shake it up. It gives me something to talk about too. It gives me another thing to share out, to tell the world about, that somebody else cares. It's like I can only do so much. I can talk about this till I'm blue in the face, but it's my thing. It's coming from me. The more other people talk about it, that does way more, because our society is still a word of mouth society. No matter what else is going on, all this paid promotion, everything else, the most valuable asset anybody can give or have is word of mouth. And if I'm doing something that you think is good, you talking about it would be awesome. Would be so rad for me. So I hope I'm not begging too much, because I feel like I am a little bit. But it's important. It's what needs to happen. People need to talk about this to get it going, because I clearly at this point don't have the money to put toward advertising and doing things like that. So it takes grassroots. It takes you and me together, telling everyone out there about what's going on, about trying to build up the scene, about more what's going on, because there's plenty of outlets that talk about one or two or three different things, but there's no outlet out there that talks about all the things. And that's what We're on the Street is trying to do, is talk about all the things that are going on in our local music and music community and whatnot. So kick it down. And then of course, so there's two other things that I do. I'm a YouTube guy. I really got into the YouTube thing. I'm a vlogger, I guess. I don't know. I never called it a vlog until just now, but I do a video journal every week, and I talk about everything that went down in my musical and artistic journey, and the podcast is one of those things. I talk about a behind the scenes kind of aspect of the podcast, and I throw it in on my video journal. I'm up to 100. I just published 154 of them, so I do one every week. So next week will be 155, where I'll break down a little bit about the Dallen and Silas podcast. I don't know what I'll mention, but I'll listen back to the whole thing and see if there's something to mention. And also I kind of collect what happened after, like if this ends up being the most downloaded or whatever, I talk about it there as well. So check it out, youtube.com/thezim video. I do that. I talk about my Lyft driving experience. I'm up to 13 videos about my Lyft experience, different things like that. So go subscribe over on YouTube. I'm up to 136 subscribers, I think. Yeah, over there on YouTube. So I'm trying to build that channel. Love to have you, if you're a YouTube watcher, go and subscribe to my channel. I'd love that. That would help out the whole process, this podcast, the local scene, everything. The more that I can build up, the more I'll be able to help the scene, because I've posted a lot of the local music scene content on my YouTube channel. So it's what I do. I love it. And the last thing, every week I do offer a discount code for my clutch purse I make. What should we do this week? Let's just do Dallen. The name Dallen from Dallen and Silas. Dallen 35 for 35% off. All right, cool. I'll catch you next week. Thanks for joining me. Peace.